So I'm running for president because 60% of the American population electorate has nobody to vote for. And there's so many people who are not going to vote for neither Trump nor Biden. So I want to bring those people to the polls. You know, I myself, I'm a big victim of. I was denied ballot access, and because of course politicians don't want to actually run on the issues. So I'm going to fill in the gap. I'm going to be a candidate for those people who have never voted before because they have found this place to be so corrupt. Washington, D.C. is a shit show. It's a shit show, okay? And it's so hyper corrupt, and that's what brought us this neo-Nazi in chief. Is we wanted a total outsider. We wanted somebody who didn't play by the rules, because the rules in Washington are too corrupt. They're obviously corrupt. And I'm a total game changer. That's what is going to hopefully bring 60% of Americans who wouldn't otherwise vote in this election unless they had a woman progressive candidate to vote for, and not two, quite frankly, pedophiles. Both of them should step down, actually. We should have a reopen nomination process. Neither of these candidates in this two-party hegemony are electable or somebody we should vote for. How can we in good conscience vote for somebody who voted for who wrote the damn bill, the crime bill, the one that's 3 strikes and you're out and sends countless African Americans to jail for life, in prison on a minor offense? And he chose a cop for his running mate, and and Trump. How can we vote for this guy who's lied over 20,000 times? He should be removed, and he should be removed based on that. But we have a do-nothing Congress, and you know, Mr. Ass-Dump, as I call him, he's right on a couple of things, like Bush should have been impeached when he oversaw, if you want to call it that, 911. But you know what? That was 5,000 people in one day, and we have a similar event, similar catastrophic event, 911-like in scope, every 3 to 5 days. We lose as many people as we did in one day at 911. And Marvin Bush was Securicom, head of Securicom. And Trump's a neo-Nazi. He cannot, and he's not eligible. Sorry. Trump is not eligible to run for president. Okay? Let me tell you why. There's about 1,001 reasons why. I'll write them down and I'll put them in a podcast. Look out for my podcast, Stick It to the Man. I'm gonna write down 1,001 laws that he's broken, and impeachable offenses. 1,001 impeachable offenses. Look out for that one. You know, adds the 13 that Ralph Nader pointed out. No, I'm purposely showing you very cute little you know, animals, because you know what, America, you need some comfort. And Donald Trump ain't the one who's going to give it to you. So I don't want to break up the two-party hegemony that America KKK has got going for it, but I do want to offer those other 60% of the American electorate have nothing or no one to vote for. I want them to have a vote. I want them to come out to the polls. Maybe they'll change their minds the day of. But I'm going to run. I'm running as a write-in presidential candidate. I have Progressive Party endorsement for my sheriff campaign. I've asked them for also I'm running 3 consecutive campaigns. I'm running also for Arizona governor against Doug Ducey, and in 2022, and unless I can get him to resign or be removed or impeached before then, that'd be nice. And he should do that. We're gonna green up Arizona. That will have to be for another podcast. The focus of this podcast is why I feel the need to run for president, even as a write-in president. And that is because 60% of the American population don't have anyone or anything to be voting for. So I totally understand, because you know what? I know exactly why they can't vote for either candidate, and nobody's addressing this fact. But both Trump and Biden have been the target, or whatever, the predator, starring in their own sex abuse story of sexual assault. And I'm a trauma counselor, volunteer trauma counselor, Oxford trained, ethnobotanist, Taipei Medical University, Berkeley undergrad in political science. I studied social welfare and women's political participation in Sweden. And indigenous health and policy and ethnobotany of the Atayal tribe in Taiwan. That's what I was doing for 20 years. Also, I was working for the newspapers. So that explains why I'm such an awesome MMJ, as it's called, a multimedia journalist. I taught at university, and I also taught little kids. And I'm even more progressive than Bernie. I'm a huge Bernie supporter, but he will not stand up to the DNC, the corrupt DNC. I am a Democrat, a registered Democrat, although I tried to run as an independent, and you know what I found? I had to get 5 or 6 times as many signatures to be an independent candidate. So that's just one more reason to run for office, so I can strike down stupid laws like that make it harder for people to run for office or to vote or to get their name on the ballot. I was unable to get my name on the ballot because a Republican lawyer named Benny Whitey, I call him E. White, I call him Whitey, and I have a lawsuit against him for violating my vote suppression and violating my ballot access. He's running for Pima County Recorder, and that's the exact person who's going to be counting our ballots. And he miscounted when he was contesting my signatures. He miscounted by 17 signatures. So that shows you what an awesome, what a terrible Pima County registrar he would make. So this is the first time they're meeting, actually.